Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where the gnomes live. This is Sharon Oyella, and this is part 2 of our little fold-out house. This is a house that we're building to fold up and use for storage. If you missed part 1, you can find that up here in the iCard. It will also be in the description box below. In this video, we're going to continue on making the floor, and then we're going to decorate it. We'll add lights and install the arch. So next we're going to make the side pieces, and this is 2 pieces of cardboard that I've glued together. Now I think the easiest way to do this is to make a template first, and I do that with a piece of paper. I just put it underneath. Okay, and I think I want the door to open to about there, so I will draw that out. So there we go. Now I'm going to glue these 2 together. And just to keep it from slipping, I'll just add a piece of tape here. It slips very easy when you have that much glue under there. And then I'll put a book and I'll leave it dry. In the next clip, we're going to be putting down the scrapbook paper onto the floor. And when I first started, I was using this paper here, and it's very light. It was pretty, but in the end I didn't really like it, so I decided to cover it up. And I just wanted to let you know, you can put a second sheet on top if you do the same thing. I don't think I could get away with a third one though. It kind of messes everything up. But the second one went on just fine. Now we're ready to decorate the floor, and I'm going to be adding my scrapbook paper. Like I said in the beginning, scrapbook paper is the best to use, or any thin material, because of the folds. We don't want to put anything thick on there. So we just want to make sure that we have enough paper for our floor. And you want to pay attention to the wood grain lines and the direction that they're going in. So I think what I can do to make my life so much easier is just place it in there, the first one. And then I can mark it off right here. I am going to take my black marker and fill this in with black. Black paint also works. That's what I used on my original home. Make sure to spread it out evenly from edge to edge. You don't want any places with no glue. I at first was going to put glue on this cardboard, then I decided not to do it that way because you could get glue in those creases, and you don't want to do that. And I see some glue is dripped down in that crease there, so I'll have to wipe that out. Just make sure to go over it and make sure there's no wrinkles or bubbles or anything under there. You can lay a book over it while it dries as well. I have a brayer, so I'll use that. Alright, so my second piece, I will fold the front piece down and do the same thing I did for the first one. So push it right in there and then draw my line. It's just so much easier to do it this way. All dry. Now I'm going to trim around the edges. I am going to add my lines now, and I'm using my ruler and a black pen. If you're afraid to do this part, try a test piece first. And I'll start at these fold lines. I'm going to start right after one of those. And you don't have to make these planks, because they're going to be planks going this way now. They don't have to be the identical size. I think they look better when they're a little bit different in sizes. This one, obviously, my fold line, I'm just going to continue that onto my other piece. I don't want to get black marker on my wallpaper there, so I'll just put that there. Alright, so what I'm doing now is just going, and you don't have to do this part at all, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. I don't like straight lines, so I just go over without a ruler and go over those lines again, and it kind of messes them up, and that's what I want. And then I just run my finger over to smudge it up a little bit. Again, do a test first on another piece of paper before you do this. The pen I'm using works really well for this technique. Alright guys, if you have lights, you can add those in now before we put the arch in. If you don't have any lights, then you can just skip the next clip and we'll put the arch in together. Popping in with another edit to be super clear about the lights. In my worm house, the lights plus the battery pack are glued underneath here, underneath the ceiling, and then I put the arch in to hide it all. So that's for the worm house because I'm not going to put anything on the outside structure that could hide the battery pack. But because this project is going to be a little bit different and I'm actually planning on adding something here on the top, I decided to put the battery pack on the outside. And I just taped it in place for now until I figure out what I'm doing, because at this time I still don't know what I'm doing with this house completely. Alright, so now we're ready to attach the lights. Before we put that floor in, I'm just going to put the lights in using my awl. Now I can pull my lights through there. I'm just going to tape that down so it doesn't go flopping around until I figure out what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to be building something up here, I just don't know what yet. So now I can take this string and tape it in. Guys, I might come in here later with fabric strips and go over all of these with some fabric, because the masking tape will not hold forever. It's going to eventually fall down. But for now, that's fine up there. So now we can install our arch. And that's very simple. We're just going to use tacky glue. Slightly bend it. I recess it back just a little bit because I'm going to be fixing this up here as well once I know what I'm doing. Okay, now we can install our floor as well. So the only part that gets glued in, of course, is just the first section that we made. That's going to get glued in back there. Make sure it goes all the way back, and make sure you can close the door. So that will bring us to the end of this video. Like I said in the beginning, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with this project just yet, and I don't know when part 3 will be ready. The main purpose of getting these last 2 videos up was just to show you how I did the fold, how I did the side pieces, how I did the doors, the arch, and the lights. And I thought with that much done, you guys could get started on your own little house. And if you want some ideas, you can go back to the original worm house tour. I'll just point out a few things here. You can see that I've attached permanently some things to the wall. If you do the same thing, like this picture here is just paper that I glued over top paper. That's all that is. And you just want to make sure before you do anything at all that you test it with your floor, because your floor is going to come up quite high. And then with any shelves that you put in there, you want to make sure that they don't catch the arch, of course. And what was the other thing? Oh, the stairs. If you wanted to add stairs like I have, this is just foil. And I do have a tutorial here on my YouTube channel making stairs with foil. It's just scrunched up. And then I put tape over top, masking tape over the top. And for this one I used paper clay, but you don't have to do the same thing. You can cover it with paper towel dipped in glue and then paint it. And again, if you go to the original blog post for the worm house, I do have links to different tutorials that I have on how to make stone, how to make stairs, and all those kind of fun things. I also have one on this little tea time calendar. Alright, so I hope you found these videos helpful, and if you did, please give them a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. In part 3, we'll finish up this house, and we'll find out together what I end up doing, because I have no idea at this point what I'm doing with this little house. Until next time, I hope you have fun building your little house, and you can post pictures on my Facebook page where the gnomes live. We'll see you super soon.